So we are in a hot balloon now, and it's losing height rapidly. It will soon crash into the side of a mountain because it is overweight. To prevent the certain death of everybody on board, or only one person will be allowed to stay in the balloon. So I will start with my first one. Okay. So hello everyone. I'm Elon Musk, just a billionaire with 48 years old now. I'm an engineer, industrial designer, technology entrepreneur, and philanthropist. So my own product and contribution have the greatest impact on society. Therefore, I think I should be the one chosen to stay in the balloons. So I'm now working to revolutionize transportation both on Earth and in space. Now I'm the founder or and CEO in SpaceX, which is a private American aerospace manufacturer and space transportation service company which value more than 20 billion USD dollar. So CEO of Tesla automotive company which specialize to design fully electric cars which sold more than 240,000 all-electric vehicles worldwide in 2018. Founders of the Boring Company, an American infrastructure and tunnel construction service company focused on tunnels optimized for electric vehicles. Co-founder of Neuralink, an American neurotechnology company. Co-founder of OpenAI, where we won the professional Dota 2 teams OG in a competition, and last, the founder of the SolarCity Corporation that manufactures and install residential and commercial solar panels and solar roofs. So I was awarded as the first place in Innovative Leaders 2019, 23rd place in Forbes 400, 25th Powerful People 2018 in Forbes, and maybe you just know me well from the Tesla automotive company, which I made a great contribution by developing the most popular electric cars, which are Model S, 3, X, and Y. These models are run fully in electricity and contribute zero emission of carbon dioxide and are safe to our Mother Earth. Compare now, most of the cars are still using fuel engines that emit tons of carbon dioxide annually. Fuel is one of the unrenewable energy source. It could not be long-lasting for all mankind. Thus, electric cars are an alternative way for it. If I can stay inside this balloon, I will design more environmentally safe products with affordable price for society. Before it, I was one of the founders for X.com, an official online financial service and email payment company. So 1 year after 1999, the company merged with Confinity, which launched a money transfer service called PayPal. In October 2002, PayPal was acquired by eBay for more than 1.5 billion USD dollar in stock. So PayPal makes it easier for people to transfer money worldwide in few seconds. For now, there are around 300 million registered users for PayPal. Rather than developing all electric vehicles, my company, SpaceX, also have a very high impact on society. The main objective of SpaceX is to send people to Mars. It's another planet that might be suitable for humans to live. So for now, my company has successfully built the world's most powerful rocket, which is called Falcon Heavy, and the first private spacecraft to the space station, which is called Dragon. To reduce the space waste, my company also made the cargo back to the Earth in complete pieces after the rocket launch. I can confirm that the price to go to the space will be reduced to an affordable price in the future. So as a philanthropy, there was 250,000 US dollar donated to a solar power project in Soma, Japan in July 2011 under the Mars Foundation, also in October 2018. Mars Foundation and me donated over 480,000 US dollar to install new water fountains with filtration system for accessing to clean water. which is at all Flint, Michigan schools. So there are approximately 30,000 children in all 12 area schools have free, safe drinking water in 2019. So I personally also donate around 1 million USD dollar to an initiative to plant over 20 million trees led by the YouTube community. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn to introduce myself. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tim Berners-Lee, an English engineer and a computer scientist. You may not recognize me, but I am sure that every single person in this world knows my invention, the World Wide Web, or to make it short, WWW. The reason why you're all able to access information in just one click and connect with other people in different parts of the world today was because of my invention. Every single time a person enters a website, www is the first thing you will type into your browsers. But let me be clear on one thing. The internet is not the same as the World Wide Web. Although www represents a considerable portion of the internet and is unquestionably the most popular part, they are different. Maybe you can look at the internet as a hardware infrastructure that creates a global network, and the web is a protocol that permit access and define the rules of data transmission on top of that infrastructure. So my invention helps you get to where you want to be in the internet without the hassle. Okay, so throughout the years, I have received many awards and honors. I was knighted by Queen Elizabeth and was formally invested in 2004. I was appointed to the Order of Merit, which an order restricted to only 24 living members. And this shows that I am a very important person in our society. Okay, in this soon to crash hot air balloon, I can see that we are all in dilemma choosing who is going to be thrown out. But I can assure you, choosing to throw me out will be the most regrettable decision you will make. Let me explain why. So can you ever imagine how your life will be without the web? How less colorful it will be? Forget about that one international friend you met last year. Communicating with him or her won't be easy, I assure you. Our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so much more, all relies on the World Wide Web's foundation. Say goodbye to YouTube and have fun watching television program and get stuck on what the station manager decides what is fun to watch for you. And where is the fun in that? Okay, so my point is, maybe we can live in the world without knowledge on our fingertips. Maybe we could accept the long waiting time for our friends' mail to come knocking at our door. But imagine what more we can do with the World Wide Web. Notice how big of an impact my invention had done to our society and how it changed the industrial revolution. Everything in this world is going fast, and my invention helps you do anything fast and easy. By letting me stay here in this hot air balloon, I can promise you that you are making an excellent decision. Who knows what my next invention will be and how positively it will impact our society. Think about it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jessica Tan, a 41 years old Singaporean. I graduated from Massachusetts Institute of Technology with a master degree in electrical engineering and computer science, and bachelor degree with a double major in electrical engineering and economics. I was a global director of McKinsey and a head of McKinsey Southeast Asian financial industry and business technology. I work with leading financial and technology institutions in the United States and 10 countries in Asia focusing on strategy and technology. While working at McKinsey, I was involved in leading the McKinsey Asian Women's Initiative and was ranked in the top 100 women's power list on Singapore's work agenda, which is a public forum designed to promote female executives to the board of directors. I joined Ping An Groups in January 2013. I am a dictator of Ping An Technology and the group's number two after founder Peter Ma. Formerly, I am Deputy CEO, COO, and Chief Information Officer, mainly responsible for the overall technology or internet finance business of the group, and manage nine internet and platform in company simultaneously. So I think I am the one which is the most suitable to stay in this balloon due to my significant impact on society. Over the years, I have successfully led our group team to develop a number of digital tools and apps which make our life easier. The engine and incubator is growing fintech's offshoot Ping An Technology, which leads the fintech top 100 global survey by consultancy IDC as China's top player, ahead of rivals Hangzhou-based Hansen Technologies backed by Ant Financial. The effort reached financial big data, big healthcare management. From this wellspring came startups including peer-to-peer lender Lufac is the largest digital wealth management platform in the world. It serves about 20 million customers and has about 60 billion USD in AUM. It's also the largest non-bank lender in China through its online lending business. And Ping An Financial Club is a regulated third-party club environment offering cloud-based service to financial institutions operating in China. Ping An Good Doctor is the largest telemedicine platform in the world with around 250 million registered users. The company listed in Hong Kong in May 2018. Ping An Wanja Clinic, a clinic enterprise platform supporting about 50% private clinic in China. Ping An Health Connect also provides a range of services ranging from anti-fraud and overbilling controls to support the state health insurance system, which covers 50% of all medical expenditure in China. Ping An One Connect is a company that takes many of Ping An's internal technologies, scales them independent of the franchise of Ping An, and offers them as enterprise service to other financial institutions both in China and more recently internationally. Besides, my company also responds positively to national development plan. For instance, we implement the country poverty alleviation policy actively and help the goal of ending poverty alleviation in 2020. To achieve this mission, my company has proposed a yard site and technology literacy improvement plan. In the primary school of Bajia Town in China, I personally spoke English to the students in that village. I used the self-developed Ping An Haoxue Intelligent Art Spoken English Assessment mini program to play with children. In the Smart Agriculture class, I led the children to learn the knowledge of modern agriculture and start the competition of rice production capacity in groups, delivering the most basic but most important innovative concept of science come from life. Besides, I was selected by Forbes magazine as the top 100 most influential women in the world in 2019 and ranked 22nd. As of 2019, Ping An ranked 7th in the Forbes 2000 and ranked 5th in the market value of global financial institutions. Besides work, I am also taking care of my family. I travel back to Singapore to spend time with my family, especially both of my daughters, every weekend. Although I'm a co-CEO of Ping An and very busy during weekdays, I will spend my weekend with my family. To conclude, I think I'm the one who should stay in this bedroom. Thank you.
All right, so thank you, Miss Jessica Tan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Pichai Sundarajan, or I'm better known as Sundar Pichai. So, I am an Indian American computer scientist and business executive, the Chief Executive Officer or CEO of Alphabet Incorporated and a subsidiary, Google LLC. So initially, I began my career as a materials engineer and only joined Google in 2004 as a management executive. So in 2015, I rose to become the company's product chief and its CEO as part of the restructuring process that turned Alphabet Incorporated into Google's parent company. I additionally also became the CEO of Alphabet Incorporated come December 2019. So, of course, to avoid being thrown out, I would vote for myself. That is obvious. I too have developed my own products and contributed to the society in various ways. So, I have strong positive impacts on the society to date, and I am always working towards a better future for everyone's convenience. So to begin with, I worked in engineering and product management at Applied Materials and in management consulting at McKinsey and Company. I only joined Google in 2004, where I then led the product management and innovation efforts for a suite of Google's client software products, which includes Google Chrome and Chrome OS, as well as being largely responsible for Google Drive. I went on to oversee the development of other applications such as Gmail and also Google Maps. So, November of 2019, of 2009, I gave a demonstration of Chrome OS with, which is the Chromebook being released for trial and testing in 2011 before it was released to the public in 2012. Uh, on May 2010, I also announced the open sourcing of the new video codec VP8 by Google and introduced the new video format WebM. So come 2013, Android was added to the list of Google products that I oversee. So I was selected to become the next CEO of Google by August 2015 after previously being appointed product chief by my former CEO, Larry Page. So on October 2015, I stepped into the new position at the completion of the formation of Alphabet Incorporated, the new holding company for the Google company family. So in August 2017, I unintentionally drew publicity for firing a Google employee. It's not something to be proud of, but the Google employee wrote a 10-page manifesto criticizing the company's diversity policies, arguing that distribution of preferences and abilities of men and women differ in part due to biological causes, and these differences may explain why we don't see equal representation of women in tech and leadership. This is actually implying sexual discrimination. Therefore, I had no choice but to fire them. And I mentioned in the memo to my employees that to suggest a group of our colleagues have traits and make them less biologically suited to that work is offensive and definitely not okay. So in December 2017, I was a speaker at the World Internet Conference in China, where I stated that a lot of work Google does is actually to help Chinese companies, in the contrary to the accusation of Google excluding Chinese, excluding China, excluding China from its products and services. So there are many small and medium-sized businesses in China who take advantage of Google to get the products to many other countries outside of China. So if I were to stay in this balloon instead, I promise I will come up with new, better products to support the needs of humankind. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thank you.
For Jessica Tan, I think you are not the suitable one to stay inside the balloons. You did not have that much of an impact on society compared to me. I am amazed by you because you are a woman who can lead one company well. However, I am the number one leader recognized, but I am a better leader with greater contribution to my company's products and society. You mentioned that you brought your company to have many achievements. Yes, you are right with your points, but I have more talents than you. I am the chief designers of Tesla Motors. I'm not just leading all my companies from many sectors and also involving myself heart and soul to develop every single of my products. So besides, you are a good mother as well. This is an undeniable fact. But I have 6 children as well, including one just born in this month. I don't think this can be one of your constructive points for you to stay in the balloons. So for Tim Berners-Lee, you contribute to the World Wide Web, www. This is very useful to humans. However, the formation of deep web and dark web are also part of your creation. Deep web does provide medical records, private networks, private forums, and so on. Most people can easily access this deep web. Some of the private networks are confirmed not to be easily be found by anyone. However, this cannot be prevented by your creation, www. Meanwhile, the most troublesome thing is the dark web. This is always the big issue on the internet. So, like there's many um, things in the dark web, like drug market, hiring hitmen, killing people, extreme pornography information can be searched if someone tries to do it. I can confirm that this information should not have existed for mankind to access it, but www does not prevent this occurring. What the second is www even provides the special way to let all can access the dark web. Thus, you are failing to stop this kind of action, and this already become a threat to humans. In conclusion, both of you, Jessica Tan and Tim Berners-Lee, should not stay inside the balloons. Jessica Tan only have the most contribution on giving people services. I don't think your position cannot be replaced by anyone else. Meanwhile, Tim Berners-Lee, you create an amazing things for mankind, but you have failed to prevent your products become a threat to society. This world needs someone who can put more of his effort to sustain the future for mankind, just like me. Thank you.
So for me, I'm afraid I can't agree with you that you are the one who should stay in this balloon, Mr. Mars. As you were awarded as 2016 most influential CEO, it means that every move that you have made might be imitated by the people. On the contrary, you did smoke marijuana in front of the camera while participating in a US webcast. This is a very inappropriate behavioral demonstration. As a public figure, you should pay more attention to your own words and deeds and be responsible to the people who work for you to get this award. Your action will affect people to think that smoking marijuana is a right decision. Imagine if all people in America that were influenced by you went to smoke marijuana. Surely they will abandon their studies or work and then give up on their lives. This will lead to an increment in many social problems, and even worse, the economy of the country will also be affected. Secondly, you were accused by the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) of misleading investors on and securities fraud in September 2018. This is a piece of egregious news that will lead to a series of negative effects on your company as well. Next, you liken some aspect of COVID-19 to the common cold and call the panic over the pandemic down. In this critical timing, you reopen Tesla Fremont production line in defense of Alameda County's order. This will increase the chance of your employees suffering from COVID-19. As we can see, China has become the world's first successful example against the COVID-19. They have implemented action control orders for up to 2 months. Everyone responded actively to the government's order in China. In fact, the data shows that the United States has the highest mortality rate due to COVID-19 in the world. Hence, it's because people who agree with your thoughts have ignored the government's order and operate their company as usual just to fulfill their own selfish desires. If you are not aware of the seriousness of this problem and then correct the error that you made in time, more people's life will be wasted. Based on these logics, I believe that you do not deserve to be the last person to stay in this balloon, as your desire for money caused you to lose your humanity. Therefore, I think that I should be the one who survives in this balloon. Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Sundar Pichai, I noticed that Google is a very popular search engine that is widely used these days. People use your search engine every day for a simple how to browse their favorite products to buy online. I think everyone agrees that you want that information private to yourself without some big company keeping a record of you surfing their website. But unfortunately, an AP investigation found that Google has been tracking its users' movements. The investigation found that many Google services on Android devices and iPhones store your location data even if you use the privacy setting that says it will prevent Google from doing so. The privacy issues affect some 2 billion users of devices that run Google's Android operating software and hundreds of millions of worldwide iPhone users who rely on Google for Maps or Google Search. So, how can we trust somebody who keeps another person's private data without them knowing? If they can store your location data secretly, who knows what private information they have on you? I'm sorry, Mr. Sundar Pichai, but we cannot keep an untrustworthy person in this balloon.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tim Berners-Lee. I'll get to you later on that. You may have a point there, okay, seeing how the World Wide Web basically bridged people with knowledge via the internet. It has become a need rather than a want. But I also think it is a problematic creation on its own. You see, a major technical issue of your creation would be the global adoption of Internet Explorer. You could have adopted any other search browser, but you made Internet Explorer the permanent choice instead. So, admittedly, the newer versions are better, but it's still difficult to explain to a non programmer what a plague this browser has been over the decades. Web devs typically have to spend an X amount of time to create a website, and then that time again just to make it work on Internet Explorer. Us programmers hate it viscerally. It's been turning our jobs into nightmares more often than anything else in the history of the web. Educating users away from Internet Explorer is also still a problem, especially in corporate environments. It is undeniably a pain in the neck for companies to teach corporate workers to use better alternate browsers, as it wastes time and energy for something so unnecessary. Thus, I think it's a wiser choice for me to be the one to stay in the balloon instead. So, thank you. That's all from me.
So now, for the first point that was accused by Jessica Dunn, I simply cannot agree to what you say. I think there's no relationship between my honor and smoking marijuana. Let me clarify something. There are some places in America that are legal for smoking marijuana. And one more thing, did I ask public to smoke marijuana? Definitely no, right? So the second point about the law, you should I felt sorry about this issue. Even though I am the founder of Tesla, I was just constrained by the governments to make Tesla private. I agreed to pay for more than 40 million US dollar in penalties for my mistake. Everyone will make mistakes, and I did admit my mistake. However, I cannot accept that this issue will bring any negatives to my company. As I have mentioned, there were more than 280,000 full electric cars under Tesla sold. People will buy my products because of my high standard and quality, because I only present the best for my customers. So next, I think you make an useless accusations to me, Jessica Tan. I don't think I have the responsibility that make my country to have such high positive COVID-19 cases. This was due to the poor management of my country, and I don't want to make any comments for my country. Yes. So as all the countries keep pressuring on rescuing the poor economy status due to COVID-19, I became the first one to reopen my Tesla company. This action is supported by Donald Trump, US President. Also, I won the lawsuit who wants to prevent me from reopening my company. I am confident that when my staff are in healthy condition, they can start to work rather than doing nothing at home. To protect my staff as well, I uh, am the one to be caught if anything happens when reopening my company. I don't think you have the bravery like me as a responsible CEO. Let me restate my point before I end my speech. I think I am the most suitable one to stay in the balloon because my goals includes reducing global warming through sustainable energy production and consumption, and reducing the risk of human extinction by establishing a human colony on Mars. I am pretty sure I'm the only one who wants to make all mankind safe rather than just keep giving service to humans on this earth. Thank you.
So, Mr. Musk has said that I do not have that much impact on the society. But in fact, my company and I respond actively to the government's policy. We actively participated in charity activities related to education, environmental protection, Red Cross, and disaster relief. We strive to use ultimate service and innovative technologies to make life easier and more convenient. As a result, we successfully innovated the business model and service model. Traditional fitness through technological innovation such as artificial intelligence. I do accept your point of view that you have more talents than me, Mr. Musk, but I strongly believe that your negative values will have a greater negative impact than your invention contributes to society. As a public figure, your every move can affect many people. It will induce misfortune that virtue can't compare with position. As you can see now, I have never done something similar to yours, and it has a bad impact on society. As I am responsible for all research on the company's development of science and technology, I am the person in the groups who knows best the connection between each experiment. That's why I think I am irreplaceable person in the group. Back to square one, as the leader of technology in Ping An, I led the company team attentively, and the strange created one brilliant result after another. As a mother of two children, I keep an eye on my daughter's physical and mental development and become a beacon on her way to grow up. As a volunteer teacher in poverty alleviation, I went into rural primary schools several times, carefully preparing every teaching content to open the window to the outside world for children in the mountains. In a nutshell, I think I am the one who should survive in this balance due to my significant impact on society. Thank you.
Okay, I'm guessing you are talking about the dark web, Mr. Elon Musk. So the deep web is just any page that you can get to from a search engine. Your bank account page is the deep web. It was created by your bank. Your Facebook edit profile page is the deep web. It was created by Facebook. Okay, so the dark web was actually invented by the United States of America government to allow spies to exchange information completely anonymously. To get an access to it, you have to use software aside from usual browsers. But I get what you mean. But any invention in this world can be used negatively if you think about it. For example, morphine. Morphine was widely used as a painkiller during the American Civil War. It brought pain relief to the injured soldier. However, people abuse this substance to achieve euphoria, and this leads to increasing amount of drug addict. I paved the way, but eventually what you want to do with it is your own choice, good or bad. Okay, Mr. Sundar Pichai. Actually, the Internet Explorer is also not my invention. It was created by Thomas Jordan in 1994. Nevertheless, you have got to respect Internet Explorer as it was one of the first internet browser to exist in this world. People use Internet Explorer as their default browsers because it is embedded in your operating system, Windows operating system. So whether they use it or not, it is up to the user, and they have the choice to change if they want.
Okay, so I do accept your point of view, Mr. Tim Berners-Lee, but I believe every creation comes with its own pros and cons. Just like you mentioned before, I quote, I paved the way, but eventually what you want to do with it is your own choice, good or bad. But in my case, Google also isn't even my invention. It's just a wonderful creation passed on to me by my respected former CEO, Mr. Larry Page, for me to continue to manage for as long as I can. Addressing the privacy issue you pointed out, it has long been acknowledged by the company. However, if no companies keep track of the market's needs, they wouldn't be able to come up with new products to fulfill customers' demands, for they don't know what's needed and what's not. And not to mention, technically speaking, the biggest problem is the statelessness nature of the HTTP protocol, uh, your creation, which forces developers to resort to patches like using cookies to emulate sessions. So, as we all know, or maybe this is new to some of you guys, cookies are needed for any web page to exist. Hence, making the user tracking phenomenon, okay, not much of a choice as it is the core of the product, which is the website and the information contained in it. We do, however, at Google, provide the alternative of setting your cookie expiry span to a range of 3 to 9 months, and it is also up to the user to activate it as the default setting of our product privacy is as disabled. This is much better than World Wide Web's inability to control your own data. So uh, the current digital business model of providing free services in the exchange for personal data has serious pitfalls. For one, people's privacy can be invaded. And not only that, but resumes and organizations can collect information about users and use it against them. So, in conclusion, how can we trust somebody who can't even control their own data to keep another person's private data on the very dangerous platform via the internet? So, at least Google has control over their data storage for a greater good compared to the World Wide Web. I am sorry, Mr. Tim Berners-Lee, but I definitely think we shouldn't keep you in this balloon. So everyone, as you can see, I am the most deserved one to stay in this balloon. With that, thank you.